This tastes absolutely savage and beautiful at the same time. So much acidity, so much sourness, but it's beautiful.
It's time to start the brew. So the guys head to their launch point, the majestic Willamette Falls. Because when you've got a hastily built brew raft floating on empty beer kegs, you definitely want to start out on some Class 4 rapids.
So we've got the malt, got some yeast, and we've got the sour wort as well.
Why are we putting in at the falls here instead of a boat ramp?
Danger.
The trip from Willamette Falls to downtown Portland is 14 miles, giving the guys enough time to forage their ingredients, sour their wort, and hopefully not wind up in a watery grave.
Hey fellas, come on down.
Hey David!
Come on in.
Wow.
Welcome aboard, lad.
Thanks.
What do you think of our brewing system?
It's beautiful.
We have to hoist the beer making flag, then we're official. There you go.
Woo! So what type of malt we starting with?
50% malted wheat and 50% Pilsner malt.
Well, these guys are messing about making beer. I'm doing the serious work, captaining the boat.
Today we're rigged up with an electric generator for our pumps, so we've got the full working system. If you want to start the runoff into the kettle, I'll start a sparge onto the top of the mash.
And I will continue to roll like a mother.
As we draw off the sweet wort from the bottom of the mash tun into the kettle, we're also sparging hot water to draw out all those sugars.
And usually, once we've got the wort into the kettle, we'd look to boil it. But today we're making a Berliner Weiss.
We're gonna take our kettle, cool it down, and add some bacteria to it to sour it up.
It's silly to go swimming with your clothes on.
To be honest, I don't really just want to stand and watch a grown man get undressed. No, you can go now. Just jump in. Off you go.
From 80% water, 20% of me's going to have to swim. And that 20% is cold.
Any water we take in with this, we're just gonna dilute our beer down even more.
But it's going to add the essence of the Willamette.
I'm not sure that's what we want. So as you can see, it's working pretty well with us just holding it in here, and James didn't actually need to go swimming at all.
With the wort cooled and Captain James's confidence not at all shaken by his time spent in the frigid Willamette, the next step is adding the lactobacillus.
What do you think?
This tastes absolutely savage and beautiful at the same time. So much acidity, so much sourness, but it's beautiful.
So this is the big step that's going to make this a Berliner Weiss. Adding the lactobacillus at this stage into the wort is going to sour the wort down before we then bring it back in, fill it with Botanical. We've got the Scotch Brew and we've got the yarrow. And it's a Berliner Weiss, so the main thing's the sourness of the beer. Well, James, you're the captain. Happy with no cedar?
I'm very happy with no cedar.
Cedarless but undeterred, the guys check the wort to see how the souring process is going.
It's exactly where it needs to be. Let's get this boil going and let's get the botanicals added.
Stand back.
Scotch Brew, it's actually a plant that originated in Scotland, and we've found it all the way out here in Portland.
And it also makes you amorous.
So we've started boiling and it's time to add the Scotch Brew.
The Scotch broom is being used as a substitute for traditional bittering hops and needs to be added 30 minutes before the yarrow.
So this will add a little bit of herbal bitterness.
We're not using a whole lot of it because the focal point of this beer is its tart, refreshing quality. We don't want to add too much bitterness to that.
Hops from Oregon have fueled the American craft beer revolution, but we decided to mix it up a little bit, and there's no hops at all in the beer that we're making here. Now that the Scotch Brew's added, we're going to boil this for 30 minutes, then we're going to add the yarrow.
Perfect.
I'll get back to work. You guys just sit back, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the sunset. So we've been boiling for 30 minutes. We've just about hit downtown Portland.
Let's kill the boil, get the yarrow in.
Now it's time to add the aromatic yarrow to the wort.
Yarrow that we foraged for in the bags of the Willamette.
It's unlike anything I've ever done before.
The ultimate Portland experience. If you want to put something in there, you have to go and forage for it.
The great thing about craft beer is about not giving a damn what anyone thinks and just doing what you want to do. And that's what we've done today. We've had so much fun.
We're not finished yet. We still have to transfer this hot wort into the carboy, cool it down, add the yeast, ferment it out. So to cool down the wort now, we're going to pump out of the kettle.
The beer's going to come from the kettle through this copper heat exchanger that I'm plunging into the river.
It's a very cold river, as James demonstrated earlier on. So we'll cool down the wort as we pump it into the carboy.
We're going to need the generator. There we go. Lost the generator.
Sake. I hate to be a killjoy, but the generator's no longer working, so we're gonna have to improvise a little bit here. So what we can do is maybe put the carboy in the river and just gravity feed it in there.
I'm going to have to go into the water and hold the carboy, and that's going to cool the work down.
Be careful, because it's pretty dark, so don't, like, get in trouble. Do you need a rope or something?
If you pass me down the carboy,
There you go.
come on, you've got to have a longer hose.
There's not a longer hose.
This is the longest hose you've got.
Watch, it's gonna be hot.
I know,
Okay.
I know.
We're now transferring our wort from our kettle to our carboy to cool down. James, when all that wort goes in, there's not gonna be much buoyancy left.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to use your human buoyancy to keep that thing afloat.
I'm the most buoyant human that you know.
Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay,
Quick, get that airlock in.
I can't find it.
Oh, that's right.
Shove it in there. Take it.
We're just sticking in an airlock, and that's going to stop the Willamette River from getting into our beer.
Push it in hard and I'll take it with me.
So James, you're going to have to tell from your hands, touching the outside of that when we get to 65 Fahrenheit. And when we get to 65, you need to come back onto the boat.
At the moment, I would say it's about 110.
Okay, how is the temperature in there? Is it cold?
Can't feel my nipples, so I'm guessing yes.
Using only his nipples as his guide, James waits in the chilly Willamette until the wort is sufficiently cooled.
I'm heavy.
At least you got pants on this thing.
Given how we cooled down the wort, I would love nothing more than to pitch this yeast in and kickstart the fermentation.
Guys, this has been really exciting for me. Berliner Weiss is one of my favorite styles of beer. Be able to do it floating down a river, using locally foraged ingredients has been a real honor.
Thanks, Ben.
Guys, it's been a real pleasure.
Good job, Captain.
Today has been absolutely monumental. We should do something epic to commemorate it.
Making somersaults?
I can make that happen.